Premium bearded. Okay, they can hear us. Hello.
Until he's unmuted to say that.
What do you mean? I would never, bro. What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's episode of the Predcast. Episode number... I already forgot. 34. I have no idea how I just forgot that. Literally, was just talking about it. But what's going on, everybody? We have TwinBlast coming out. We got a little bit of AI news. That's actually going to be a really spicy talk. I can't wait to talk about that detail with all of you guys. And we're going to go over a couple other stuff. Right? But before we actually dive into things, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Let's go in this specific order. Let's go Reaper, then Efsixx, Joey, Bearded, and then myself. Tell people a little bit about yourself, and we'll go from there.
SoulReaper. I play just MOBAs in general. Third person, preferably. Not a big fan of top-down games. A lot of hours in Pred, a lot of hours in Smite, a lot of hours in OP. Just kind of a mid lane main. Play a little bit of jungle off lane too. Not particularly a dual lane enjoyer.
You had to throw that out there.
Yep.
Just had to let it know beforehand.
All right, go ahead, Efsixx.
Hi guys, I'm Efsixx. I play Pred mediocrely, and I used to play Smite, but I can't do it anymore. But I usually just play whatever game that fills my heart. But yeah, you can find me just chilling, streaming games.
On Kick as well, right?
I am on Kick.
Right.
You come over here, hit me with a follow. I appreciate you. Love you forever. Big hugs, even booty rubs if you need it.
Hey yo.
He said, hey, yo.
So Reaper's making an account right now just for it.
Oh no.
Hey, Joey.
Yeah, it's just Joe Shirley back on the podcast. I'm just a content creator over on YouTube. I show up not only how to play certain heroes in the competitive builds, but also I do a little spicy kind of builds from time to time. And for TwinBlast release, I decided to show the most spicier builds first. So the first day I showed the assassin build where you can kind of one-shot people with your ultimate. That's actually a ton of fun. And today I actually released another build where you do Elephant's TwinBlast. You play him off lane, build it. Because shaking his head because he hates it, but it's just a fun build, but not for the opposing offlaners. So I do apologize to you too, but I have a duty as a content creator to show off fun builds to everyone. So if you want to see fun builds, my channel's for you, I guess.
Bro, there was already people on Twitter sharing Elefrost builds. And then, like, even in the comments on Joey's YouTube, you just like, oh, I can't wait to try this shit. I was like, well, there it fucking goes. Oh, go ahead, Bearded.
Page rock hits you from across the map, and you're like, oh, well, there I am.
So before I go into saying who I am, let's continue on with this Joey and this ranged off lane TwinBlast video. I've yet to watch it, but we were talking about it in Windu's Discord today because somebody else brought it up. And it's like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, I haven't seen it, but the only reason I want to watch it, the only reason I want to support that video is just so I can hopefully learn
how to counter
it, because I don't want to deal with it, because that I hate range.
I can tell you right now. Do you want to tell me?
Please tell me. Tell us all the secrets.
To counter Elephant's TwinBlast, just play assassin or you play range character, because the whole point of abusing Elephant is abuse the range versus melee. So you play a mage or another ADC, then Elephant is kind of like useless. Or you play assassin, like counts to jump on TwinBlast and kill him before he does anything. Then there you go. So that's counterplay. It's just like you gotta know how to do it with it. So,
but if I'm first pick, I can't just automatically pick an assassin or.
He wants to know how Grux can beat him.
Crunch, Steel. I don't care. Somebody that's not I don't play any of that. I don't play range off lane because I respect the off lane, and I don't play assassins just because I don't like how they play. I prefer more of a tank off lane role, so that just sucks for me. And you just gave everybody the secret. You just like, you were the magician. Like, here's how I do this magic trick. Go do it all the time on Bearded. That's what you did. Oh, gosh. All right.
Better hope we get a gang.
I'm the Beard Wolverine. I am your Michigan Wonder, and excited to give you episode 34 and talk about TwinBlast because I had a lot of fun beating Windu with him yesterday. So I can't wait, and I'll let Windu talk about it. Here, it's all you, Windu.
I can't with them. What's up, guys? I'm Windu, also known as Windu the Mace. I do predominantly mobile content on my gaming channel, but I do have a Star Wars channel and a car channel that I kind of post here and there. What Beard is actually talking about is every single month when the new heroes get released, we actually get together and we'll do a friendly rivalry, basically. Just customs with the communities. We now started incorporating devs as well. So we're trying moving forward to also have devs in there with us so they can just kind of engage with the community and whatnot. And in itself, it's just basically just good fun, some good custom games. We tally it up. Bearded won this last one. Team Bearded won the last one. So now it's 2-1. 2 Team Windu, 1 Team Bearded. So if Bearded pulls it off with Lizard, he'll tie that shit up. But yeah, if you guys want to tune into those, definitely just follow my gaming YouTube. That's specifically where I put it, and then follow Bearded on his Kick because he streams it live over there as well. But this is the Predcast. So again, we predominantly are going to talk Predecessor, other MOBA related subjects that pertain specifically to Predecessor as well. We'll try to keep it as Predecessor oriented as possible, but we might veer a little bit here and there. Now, the first thing that I actually kind of want to go into is just kind of, I want to talk a little bit about just state of the game in general, like the vibes that you guys have been getting out of people, the emotions, you know, the feedback that the community's been talking and stuff. Let's start with Efsixx. What have you what have you seen from out of the community, like from this whole TwinBlast event and everything?
Obviously we've seen the standard, you know, kind of everybody wants to play TwinBlast, so I'm just gonna either auto luck it or not play the game and just take my dodge. Right, yeah. But other than that, I mean, I've seen a lot of positivity coming from just TwinBlast himself. If we're just talking specifically about the hero release, he's definitely a fun ADC to play. Even myself, I hate carry. This is the worst role I think in the game. But I enjoy playing carry if I'm playing TwinBlast, just because he just brings something a little bit different than the other ADCs, and his kit is just so well diversed. I just like him in general. So I've just seen a lot of positivity from people with that part of the end.
I see. What about you? So Reaper, have you gotten a chance to play Predecessor here recently?
I have not played in like 2-3 weeks or so. I've just been playing some other stuff, taking a little break from the game at the moment. TwinBlast, I've seen, I've been following the game. I've watched some gameplay, obviously. It looks interesting. Seems to be very positive. He's kind of like the poster boy for Paragon games, right? So I think that kind of has a lot of sentiment for a lot of people. And even just their Twitter interactions and things are just on TwinBlast is way higher than it's been on some of their other characters for sure. And I think that says a lot.
Right, you bring up a great point. TwinBlast is the poster boy of Paragon. He always has been, right?
I would say it's him and Gideon. Those are the two I would say that definitely.
Yeah, I would agree.
I can see that.
Steel sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Steel definitely did get a lot of trailer time back in the day, for damn sure. Right. So I'm going to continue here, but I definitely want to get your perspective as to, so what is it about this event that didn't necessarily reel you in compared to a past event? Reaper.
I think it's just I wasn't playing the game. I'm just not playing the game really. It's a new character, that's about it. But it's also I've played OP, I played Fall. You know what I mean? I didn't play original Paragon, but I have played TwinBlast in these other games, and he might be slightly different, but it's still the nature of the kit is still generally the same. You hit auto attacks. It's an ADC. It's not exactly super interesting to me as a mid laner. I like to hit big bursty ultimates and abilities and stuff, and that's not really his style, obviously.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Now, Joey, I'm sure your YouTube has been going crazy in the last 24, 48 hours since you started posting those TwinBlast videos. What have you seen out of the community?
Definitely, I've been seeing a lot of great positivity about him, because the big thing about what makes TwinBlast so fun is the same exact situation was with Greystone. I think you guys remember before Greystone was released, a lot of people were he's a very simple, very easy character to play. He's kind of like a snoozer, right? And then he releases, and there was 5 6, like there's a ton of different builds you can go on. You can go assassin, you can go Crystone, you can do tank, and do the course of the booster build. So the fact that you're able to run so many different viable builds on Greystone made him like really fun, because every time you play him, like, okay, I already did booster, let's see what happens if I do tank Greystone. And you can just always try something new with him, essentially. And I think the same thing's happening with TwinBlast. Well, because he got the magical ratios on his Q and R, and because of how like the scaling of his ultimate, you can like, of course, run him the same on-hit build. You can maybe run him crit, but then you can also run him the Phantom Deathstalker build that showcased first, that made his ultimate just delete people, which is really satisfying when you're piloting it. And of course, the Prophecy Elephant build was just a lot of fun, because he can just abuse the roots on hits way faster than any other AC because of his double shot mechanic. So I think he's just a really fun AC alone for the fact you can run so many different stuff on him.
Bro, honestly, I kept getting spammed. Like, while we were doing our little 1v1, I kept getting spammed in the chat. It's like, bro, do Mage, TwinBlast, Windu. Do that shit. And I was like, hell no. You know how many people are trying to kill me on this other team right now, bro? Hell no, I'm not doing that shit right now. Do that shit in randoms.
Should go on the Thunder build so you can kill people from afar without worrying about them getting close to you.
Brett, I'll be honest with you. I went up against Kalaris. I went like, it was interesting games. No, we actually had a lot of fun, right? Like, and of course, you know, the team, what we do specifically on those events is we let people pick their team. So we try to balance as well as we can too, but it also is like, hey, I want to play for the team that I support, sort of vibe. So even with that in mind, we still had really close games. We had both teams winning, you know, team fights back and forth. Like, oh, they took Prime, we took Primal Fang, and oh my God, we won the team fight, but now they won the team fight. It was actually super cool. And I gotta say, I weirdly saw very overwhelming feedback just because Twin is in the game. Not even necessarily feedback as to him, like his kit. Right? Like, it's almost like people see TwinBlast in the game and they automatically said, Predecessor's doing the wild. Yo, I love Predecessor. They got my boy TwinBlast in there, bro. I guess a little bit of fandom. What have you been hearing out of people, Bearden?
Overall, it's definitely a good thing. I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of negative comments. I did see recently somebody who said that they're noticing some lags ever since the patch dropped with them, so they don't know if it's TwinBlast that's causing it or if it's just the patch itself, but they're noticing some stuff there. But overall, I mean, I just with the people talking last night while we were gaming, you know, Jelly, who is more of a jungle main, he played TwinBlast. He enjoys how TwinBlast feels. I enjoy how TwinBlast feels. I am one that I'll sit there and tell you I hated Fault's version of TwinBlast. It literally was the most unfun ADC to ever play. It literally it's the epitome of what SoulReaper thinks all ADCs are. Literally, all you do is, you know, right click and that's all you're doing, because the rest of your buttons don't mean anything. You know, left click. Sorry, yeah, you're holding left click. That's it. You know, and that's kind of what it felt. And even when you ulted, ulting was just. It only benefited your left click is what it felt like. It didn't feel like it was doing anything else for you. So it's like, what's the point? So their version of TwinBlast, I love it. Like the Q, I love how the Q, how the passive, the Q is different than what it was. And then the ultimate being the machine gun ultimate, everything just flows together. That passive makes his whole kit flow together. It makes you want to, you want to pop an ability, shoot your 2 autos, pop another ability, shoot 2 autos, pop another ability, you know, and just keep, you know, going through that motion. And you can just kind of keep, you know, going through it until you're out of mana. So
shout out to Joey. He nailed the passive, by the way, on the Predcast right before. He nailed that shit on the head, bro. Like, all right.
Yep. So we'll keep an eye on him. Maybe he's probably giving us insider information. We're just not paying attention. So the next time we try to ask a passive for Lizard, you know, if he nails that one on the head, we know he knows something. So well keep on picking his brain.
Day one video spice. Okay.
But no, again, everybody's happy about it. The only question I have is when they finally release Iggy, is there going to be a huge uproar, or is it just going to be like the 1, 2, or 3 fans that are always complaining about wanting Iggy when a hero is released and it's not Iggy? I don't know. Is there a bunch of people that want Iggy, or is it just like 2 to 3 people that just keep spamming this one thing?
I'll be honest.
Nobody wants Iggy.
I want Iggy. No, I want Iggy. I want Iggy. Like,
No.
I think they.
Iggy squishy.
I think the interesting part about Iggy was the character design, not necessarily the kits and everything. Like, sure, he's basically like Khaimera, right? He throws turrets and etc. But it's just, I don't know, like that little, what the fuck was he? A gremlin? I think, maybe something like that. Like, right, like look at like a gremlin riding a dinosaur. It's just character model. It's just so off the wall, super cool. And then on top of that, you add all the fire dynamics, and people just like fire, bro. Like, let's be real. We on one of our major holidays here in the States, we literally just blow shit up into the sky and explode it, right? So there's a thing about fire. There's something about it, right? But yeah, I'm on the Iggy train, bro. Iggy was my first mastery back in Legacy. I want Iggy.
Yeah. So, but another just joke, because there's obviously the Iggy when crew out there, and I just don't know how big that crew is. I do want Iggy to come just so I can see how big of an uproar we actually get. Is it just going to be, you know, like a small crowd just, you know, going crazy, or is it going to be a whole big thing going on? So I'm interested to see what goes on that way. I got a lot of people in chat are saying fuck Iggy, so, and we got Efsixx saying fuck Iggy. So I don't know, maybe there's going to be more of an uproar when we get Iggy, but the negative side of it, then we are going to get the positive side of it.
Dang, all the solo laners must have showed up. Rip.
But no, other than that, TwinBlast, I love how he feels, and it's not enough to take me out of solo lane, but it's definitely enough for me to, when I do play carry, to interest me not to play Murdoch all the time.
Spicy. Now, what is there any specific subject you want to hit next there, Bearded?
I mean, we can go into the patch, because the patch references the vlog for the toxicity, and then we can go further, but we don't need to touch too much about the patch. I just want to do the intro, talk about what's going on with it, and then any key points you guys want to talk about, like balance wise. But other than that,
got you. I'll put it full screen so you can read it.
All right. It's time to load up, champions. The version 0.9 game update is just around the corner, bringing it with our most dashing new hero yet, alongside some substantial improvements to our in-game chat moderation systems, as well as equally substantial changes to our in-game audio mixing. Before I get any further, I do think there's an issue with the patch and the audio. I was playing, and next thing you know, like my autos, I can't hear them occasionally. Like, all right. And I think it's almost like they changed the audio to where, like, we didn't want so much going on. So because there was a lot going on, it canceled my audio sound. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? Like, did I hit? What's going on? And I couldn't hear. I didn't know if I got last hits or not, because it was just completely silent for a second there. So I think there's something going on with that. So feedback for the devs, you know, when you're watching, listen to this, because that's something I'm noticing. All right. At the risk of taking our sights off TwinBlast for a moment, our sound team have been firing on all cylinders, making momentous improvements to the way that audio is optimized and delivered during matches. We'll let Bartos, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, go into more detail a little later into this blog, but the team's recent work on the sound front really builds on Predecessor's immersion. The other big thing to talk about is the version 0.9 is arguably one of the biggest pushes to address in-game toxicity to date. We can probably bring Reaper back now, since all the toxicity pushed him away. As is all the rage right now, we're working with an incredibly efficient and effective and industry-leading artificial intelligence tool to fully automate the moderation process for in-game messaging. But what does this mean specifically? Read on for more and keep an eye out for dedicated blog on tackling toxicity coming earlier next week. And lastly, of course, there's our gun-toting new action hero, TwinBlast. There's no use waffling on about him here though, so let's blast right into it. And that was by Kari. All right. There's TwinBlast. All right. Evasive explosive. All right. We all pretty much all know his kit by now. I think the biggest thing for his kit is his passive. And using an ability will cause TwinBlast's next two basic attacks within 5 seconds to benefit for a 40% increased total attack speed. I think that's the best thing about his kit, how it helps his kit flow together.
See, I would disagree. I think the spiciest thing about TwinBlast is that split basic attack, bro.
I would agree with that.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Bro, that split basic attack, being able to proc on hit even faster. And I'll be honest with you, because I tried full crit build on him also. The fact that each individual hit might crit or not, you know what I mean? Like I'm just in there like, fuck, bro. This is like you got to run on hit on him, and the running crit on him almost feels like a throw. But I like the fact that they spice it up that way, right? Because if not, he would have literally been every other carry plus then some. You know what I mean? Like that's what kind of forces him into versatility. Go ahead, Joey.
So
I think that's what makes him really fun is the fact that he's not the traditional crit carry, because like I think I was saying last time, one of my biggest hope was that ever since the whole 3 system item for ADCs crit penetration on head was introduced, and TwinBlast being the first ADC after that, I was hoping he wouldn't be the crit base, he would be penetration on head, just actually going along with that vision they want to try to do with ADCs, and they actually nailed it really amazingly well, because doing on hit works perfectly on TwinBlast and just a lot of fun, just having a completely different build you can go on an ADC now. I love it.
So Odo,
his best thing is his grenade.
go ahead,
to be
Justin.
honest with you,
Yeah?
his grenade and the way his grenade actually flows on the map, it's not like an overprime or something that just throws it and hits like a circle. It actually goes along with like the environment, so like it bounces. You can do a bunch of trick shots with it, and the fact that you can launch that thing halfway across the map is so clear wave. I mean, it gives you a safer ADC to kind of have on the lane, to be honest. But that's just me.
Bro, that range is nuts. That range is nuts.
I watched Joey's first video he dropped with it where he built Infernum first, and I watched him like from the top of the hill launch it under the tower and hit minions of the tower. I'm like, oh, he's like, and even Joey was like, oh, I can go that far with it. All right, I'm like, that's interesting. Back to the dual animation though. Odo did say in chat, he said the dual fire feels bad. The animation makes me feel sick. I don't know what if he like literally gets like epilepsy type sick or whatever, like something like that, or if it just kind of what makes you feel sick about that, Odo, let me know in chat. But yeah, so that's just interesting that you guys said about them. I did notice it. I was wondering, I was like, wait, and I was shooting, I'm like, wait, did I shoot twice? Like what happened? And I wasn't even paying attention because that's his left mouse button.
I mean, the good thing about the double auto though is you could also like those minions that, especially like later on in the game, like you're trying to last hit, you could pretty much last hit with just one basic attack with 2 minions. So,
Bro, I fucked up my wave so many times trying to just last hit a minion, like wait till the very end, and like especially in the first couple games, because I would shoot the minion, it dies, and then my second shot shoots the one in the back, and I'm like, great. I'm like slowly pushing my wave because I can't control this fucking auto attack. But I gotta say, just to kind of go on what you said with the grenade, I love the way that the grenade interacts, whether it be on the water, whether it be like how the first bounce has a little bit more power, and then there's like another baby bounce that follows it. You know what I'm saying? Like it really feels like it's losing momentum. But even though what was it? I was grabbing a gold buff, and then Bearded went to grab it from me. He threw a grenade. It caught the top of the last step. And it had that first bounce momentum, and that shit went whoop right back at him, bro.
Oh, no.
That shit was hilarious.
It was definitely a feels bad moment. I was like, I saw it, but this is perfect. Let me like pop a grenade real quick, and I shot it, and it literally just hit the front of the rim of the back, instead of like going off the backboard.
Decker 2.0 basically.
That's what I literally, when I was texting Windu, I was like, it felt like Fault Decker, like because like anywhere on the terrain you threw a Decker bomb, and it could have been literally anywhere. There's a chance it would come back at you. It hit a blade of grass. I was like, nope, that blade of grass doesn't like you. It's like, damn. So. But
bro, you know what I think it's a missed opportunity real quick on them on TwinBlast? Do you guys see the icon on the blog? And I think this is pretty much the same icon for the on the in-game, in that little 3-second screen that we get to see all the skins and everything. So they have the Shadow Ops TwinBlast with the red guns. That little picture there.
That's when his passive's active.
Is that what it is?
Like that. Yeah.
No. His back goes red.
Yeah, but his guns go red too.
Yeah, it's like in the black suit though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't see
that was the skin I actually bought because this is the shadow up skin is something I've
Dang, you
I've
shelled out
always
16
enjoyed.
bucks?
Yeah, well, no,
I do too.
no. I still had 8K for my 10K that I got when I bought the package. Right?
Oh,
I'm
yeah, I
still
only got
sitting at
1,000.
6,400 now. All right,
No,
you
yeah.
bought that Murdoch skin that was like forever old.
I bought every Murdoch skin that they sent out. I was like, I don't agree with this price. Click.
Yeah, I don't agree with the price, but I don't see it coming down anytime soon. So I got the skin because I wanted to do, skins wins games, and that's how I beat Windu because he was the mercenary skin. Missionary, yeah, mercenary.
You were the mercenary.
Skin. I was the mercenary. You're right. But yeah, that's his guns glow when his passive is active.
Now, I'm actually curious as to, I want to ask Reaper a question real quick, because I know, and everybody at this point basically knows Reaper for the skill level that he brings to the game, competitive games and etc. Right? I think that's a pretty good indicator of, hey, you watch that guy because of skill, right? Now, Reaper, how do you think this whole TwinBlast thing, do you think he's actually going to impact the competitive scene?
From when I played, I don't think he would impact it too much. I know Kira was like the best ADC when I stopped playing, and I think he's kind of like in the same boat of like you're really safe. Although the fact that you don't go crit, I think does like maybe lower your DPS compared to just being able to like 5-tap a tank as a like a Murdoch or something, as well as not having like the global ult. But I think he'll be pretty like either on the higher end or like middle of the pack, or he's either unplayable, kind of like Sparrow. But I don't think he really impacts the meta just because there's not enough characters in the game to really like shift the meta too much by like adding one character, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point because he has a lot of similarities to Sparrow. Like as far as, being able to he benefits, Sparrow benefits off of attack speed. They both have a piercing shot, for example, right? But yeah, but I guess the biggest thing about him, and I've actually, I did a phase TwinBlast combo. The mobility and the evasiveness that you can get out of TwinBlast is absolutely insane. Like that alone, and given that we went over it last episode on Predcast, like we pretty much unanimously agreed that mobility is arguably one of the biggest tools, the biggest assets, one of the biggest buffs that a character can have. And the fact that he has a little bit of cure mobility and then some, that shit's nuts, bro. The fact that he can regen that dash of his by just landing autos, that I'll be honest, that shit's probably gonna get nerfed. Like they might remove that one. I don't see that one lesson.
I don't really know, but your ultimate hits will like also reduce your E. So you can dash away, use ultimate, and then by the time your ultimate finish, you can dash again. That's nuts to have that much mobility on a ADC. And
he is squishy, like super squishy. But
carry, like, yeah. That's the big thing, like with TwinBlast. It's not the fact that he has great mobility. If you think about all his abilities are long in range. His Q is a little bit longer than his autos. His grenades, you can chunk it however far you want. His ultimate, you can literally like beeline someone from range that like you can't have mages hit you essentially when you're ulting from max range TwinBlast. Like he has a lot of mobility, a lot of range. So it's really hard to actually get on top of TwinBlast if you know how to play that range correctly. So he has that high DPS like a Sparrow will kind of have, but he has that crazy safe mobility to be able to actually get all that off, and that's what makes him kind of really insane right now in the moment, in my opinion.
I would say though, but maybe go ahead, Efsixx.
I was just going back to like if he's going to be really that big into the scene. I think he will be, just depending, because now that obviously the PC is like switching to a double ban, that's going to pretty much take probably Kira off the board as well, since now they could prioritize Rampage and they could prioritize like somebody else. So now that the fact that they can have two bans, they might be taking that AC off the board, and then now TwinBlast is that like secondary pick to really go into the different matches. So that might be the thing to really set him up to be a little bit more different into these competitive scene matches.
So I kind of want to ask you guys about Crunch, because I know you guys are a little bit versed in Crunch. Pretty much everybody here it has a pretty good experience on Crunch. So Crunch got a recent nerf, slightly reduced base healing, right? But I've been seeing some raid boss crunches running around, bro. Have y'all seen that shit?
I've seen some videos, but that's also comes down to one, like build, like if you build your build path was correct for that crunch. Because a lot of things you see in Pred right now, because a lot of players don't necessarily know how to do their build paths, because they're just not building correctly against a crunch. So he just runs around and does crunch things. So I think that's probably the biggest factor, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
What
just
are
a
you
crunch
talking
video.
about? Like what kind of items?
Yeah, bro.
I think it's just a regular like mutilator, augmentation, and then like maybe
so
they
just a
go into like
standard.
yeah. So but
Okay.
it's just like people are just not building against him, and I feel like that's just allowing him to just do whatever he wants, and that's the big problem.
Yeah, he's kind of like the king of solo queue in terms of just being able to win almost any 1v1 in off lane. But he's definitely someone that actually kind of falls off in the competitive scene. You see people pick him, but that's because he's just a solid choice. It's just like in team fights, well, that's what a lot of the focus is in the competitive scene. He's just not the best team fighter. Like a Greystone is a much better team fighter. A Tango isn't a great team fighter, right? So it's always interesting to see Crunch in competitive play because he's really good in solo queue, but in that comp scene where things play a lot differently, the Crunch strength is a lot different in that kind of environment.
Now, Beard, to touch on this, will Crunch be a good option to counter a TwinBlast, considering he can close the distance and knock him up real quick?
I mean, Crunch has always been a good pick for anybody that like. If you need a character or a hero to close in on anybody, he's always one of the best picks just because of that double dash. Pretty much sets him up to just chase you down wherever he wants, and it's on a quicker cooldown than your blink. So even if you're out of a bad position, he can still run you down, especially if you're in the jungle.
I went up against a Muriel as Crunch, and
Muriel solo?
Muriel
Oh
offlane,
shit!
yeah. And she had the red bow, the tier 2 item. You get the 2 small brown bows, and she had a red bow. And I closed the distance, and I knocked her up. And next thing you know, she's melting the fuck out of me. It's all she had was a red bow. She had nothing else. And I try to run away, and I can't run away, and she just melts me as I'm running away. I'm like, I couldn't do anything. I'm like,
It depends on the wave state.
I
Like,
could not counter that. I'm like,
did
what
you
is
like
going
dive on top of her when there was the minion wave there?
I don't remember, but I remember
Because
she just melted the fuck out of me as I'm running
Because
away.
half the time, range offlanes will abuse minions and fight in that wave. So I think more than half the damage you've taken is probably from minions, not necessarily her.
Yeah.
Bro, minions will sneak up on you.
Oh yeah, they catch you slipping a lot, especially early game. You're like, wait, why am I losing this fight? And then you're like, oh yeah, there's 60 minions looking at my face right now.
Now, did y'all peep that Khaimera got a on-hit modifier on his Q?
I saw that.
But he's still an all-in character, so like it's very situational. Like there's rare opportunities that Khaimera is like that guy to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't help but notice. So during the custom games that we had, our buddy Jeej decided to go Khaimera jungle, right? And yo, I'm talking about ran through the lobby. Homie was slapping medkit, Demande. It's just like, bro, this is Jeej? Like, yo. And then I went back and looked at it. I was like, oh shit, his Q applies on hits now? That's pretty fucking spicy, bro. That's a lot. That's a lot out of a Khaimera, bro.
Is it not a nerf? Didn't it already proc on hits?
Yeah, it's enough.
Isn't it just a reduction on the amount of damage
Yeah.
the on hit?
Isn't it? I thought it was actually just added, because it says added 75%,
So
not
I
reduction.
think
Here.
I
I'll
think
read it.
they separated it from like your auto attack and the on hit damage. I think they separated it so that they can change how much the on hit does separate from the auto attack.
So
And it was a good
Khaimera's-
change.
Khaimera's Unleash ability allows for some of the heavy synergy with on-hit itemization due to how frequently he can proc their effects during his Q window. Due to these interactions, the rest of his kit must always be tuned with on-hit purchases such as Sky Splitter in mind. To help alleviate this balance bottleneck, we are adding an on-hit modifier to his Unleash, resulting in the item dealing 25% less damage while his Q
Gotcha.
is active, thereby allowing us to better balance Khaimera both now and in the future and redistribute some of that lost potential potential into his kit in other ways. So
I get it. Okay.
Before this, all of his on hit, like for them to hit the huge nerf to any of his abilities, and now they can, instead of just, because that's just on hit, but if you nerf his ability, that affects every other item too. So this way they have it to where they can adjust his on hit side of his kit and not have it affect the other abilities that don't have on hit towards him.
Oh, so that's interesting. So they reduced the on hit by 25%, but then they buffed the power scaling off of both his leap and his Q.
Right.
That's because he was so balanced in mind with whole Bonesaw Sky Split. Remember, Bonesaw used to be different item, and now it's much easier to proc. So that was kind of bounced around the fact that Bonesaw was kind of really strong in Khaimera. And same thing with Sky Split. Like that, and with Sky Split, you actually see Sky Split Khaimera just because it's just the same damage spike on him, and you can still go full boost after that. So they're trying to balance these on hit items on him better, so he can get buffs in other areas in his kits.
Yeah. So you know something that actually interested me? I didn't see it coming, but they adjusted quite a bit of Kira. Like I saw what all was changed on her, and I was like, damn, bro. Like they pretty much adjusted almost every single value. Like when it comes to Kira.
Still hurts. She's still just a
He said, I hate her.
They gotta do a lot more of that, because they like nerf some things and then buff some things. So essentially she's still in the same spot. Unless they drastically reduce her numbers on like certain abilities, or like they change her kit around a little bit, or just even the items in general, she's still going to be number one, just because everything she does adds more power to her passive, her E. Like she has a Q that she could pop at you at any time. Her ult is still pretty crazy. She's just one of those characters that right now she's going to be top until like they do something drastic, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think.
I go ahead, Joey.
I was going to say, along those lines, I also think the same thing with TwinBlast. Like, you can adjust his numbers. I think he needs number adjustment. But if you look at his base kit alone, like, he offers so much more than a lot of other ADCs at the moment. So, like, what exactly is the downfall of TwinBlast? Like, when you look at Spell, the downfall is she has no mobility. You look at Murdoch, he falls off in team fights because the snipe is really not that impactful. You look at TwinBlast, it's like, okay, he has the range, he has the mobility, he has the ultimate that can delete you. Okay, where exactly falls short? Like,
I guess the chunking. Like if you have a full on crit build, like not on crit, listen to me. If you have a full crit build, right? Like let's say we got like a Terminus and everything, right? Like we got Imperator. Somebody might be able to 3-shot that TwinBlast before he gets off all his hits.
Maybe,
granted, if they hit.
He doesn't have to play that range. He can just use his ultimate to outrange you in that scenario.
I mean, not just his ult either, Joey. Like his grenades.
Grenades.
So I think to go off that, Joey, real quick, I think that situation is the fact that this is his introduction patch, and they've had a couple of heroes that they've released that kind of fell flat. FaZe and Morgesh, so it's like kind of like let's give him this boost here. Let's let him have his limelight, and then the next balance patch will bring him down. We'll knock him down a peg or two or whatever, and give you that that it'll answer that question. Why not pick TwinBlast? And there'll be a reason there. That's what my guess with that. But going off of what Efsixx was saying and how with Kira they nerf things but they buff things. This is definitely a pattern with them, and this is something that I think right now with early access they need to fix, in the sense that it's like they're too afraid to make a balance change and have it be too drastic of a change. Like
it's always give take.
Yeah, it's always give take instead of just give or just take. It's never, they're always like, hey, and you see it a lot with items, right? They'll see the item change. Oh, we're going to take this from the item, but we're giving this. Oh, we're taking this, but we're going to give this. And it's like, well, what? Like, and then, so if you do the math, it's like, okay, yeah, instead of being like, this needed to have like a 20 physical power, nerf to it, it got a 10 because you boosted this, the scaling on it. So now it's actually, it's not losing much. You look at it like the numbers are big, but then you add the scaling to it. It's like, well, you actually didn't bring it down very much, and they do that a lot. And that's just that I say that, right? But I don't actually do the math, so I don't know if it's true, but that's my visual appearance. And that's how this always seems when I'm reading these patch notes. Like it literally feels like it's just a give take, and that they're being very, what's what I'm looking for?
Safe.
They're not being aggressive. Yeah, they're being very safe. Thank you. They're not being aggressive with these patches, and I think you need to like try an aggressive balance just to see what it feels like and see how the game goes and see what the community feels about it. So then if there's a time that you need to find that aggressive balance, you're able to do it and you understand where your ranges are at. Like you got to find that like, hey, here's too much, here's not enough. Let's try to balance in here. Right. We got to find those right now. They've been doing this the whole time and they don't know what their perimeters are.
So I'll play devil's advocate here because I agree with you. I just want to see more wild changes just because it spices things up. Right. But we know Predecessor in general are as perfectionist as they can be. They try to be. Right. So I wouldn't be surprised if they started off with just let's take away this. And then they tested that shit for a week or two. And they're like, nah, that shit feels bad. Try adding this. It's like, okay, well, you know what? That feels a little bit better, but it's not quite yet. Well, how about we adjust this value? And then behind the scenes, they might have been testing that shit for a straight month every single day. And then they finally found a good balance to where they want the item to be. And we just see the end result. Where those steps of the front, go forward, go back, take this, etc. Like, instead of us seeing it through multiple patches, they're doing it behind the scenes and they're just giving us what they think the best end result will be. You know what I'm saying?
My rebuttal to that though would be, and I can't think of the person's name right now or the hero's name right now, but there's been heroes that we've seen patch after patch get changes. And it's like, so then that right there tells me that would negate that argument in that sense. There might be some things that are doing that, but like there's, we've seen like, hey, balance patch, bam, hero release, bam, and that's like, wait, this person, similar to, and I'm not saying there it's on par with Fault, but what you remember, Windu fought with Kalari. There was like 7 patches in a row that Kalari got nerfed. She just kept on getting nerfed.
Well, I will say, they don't have people like Joey doing these crazy ass builds, because I promise you, because there's gonna be somewhere over like I'm telling you, there's gonna be next patch. It'll be like, well, due to the oppressive nature of Elefrost, we're adjusting this, and be like, I guess who we got to thank for that shit, bro. But you get what I'm saying? Like, so I'm assuming they've tried a whole bunch of things behind the scenes, right? They've made a whole bunch of changes, and that's what leads to these patches. But some of the wildest people running with the craziest builds are literally, that's just creativity, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't look at a carry and say, let me build an AP damage item that slows on hit. Like, you could, especially now that it's brought to the light. It's like, you know what? Let me try that shit. Let me see how that shit goes. By all means. But like Joey said, he likes to do crazy fucking builds like that. He's the one that wants to go Greystone support. Don't you forget that shit. He's like, I'm gonna make that shit work. So it takes people that might not be in their testing team to find some broken shit. Like, these 2 items together, nuts. And now next patch is like, well, since we've seen an increase in Elefrost TwinBlast, we're gonna tone him down a little bit. Or TwinBlast might get a reduction on his health even more, because now you're gonna have 30,000 fucking solo TwinBlast abusing the solo lane. He's too tanky to survive over there, So
I think there's can I add some stuff to this?
Of course.
There's like a few things that I kind of agree with and kind of disagree with. I think when you add things that are like unfun, for example, like when Brimstone was really strong and everybody was building Brimstone, there's like 9 people. A game building Brimstone is really unfun.
Like Countess Brimstone.
You can't really have stuff like that in the game, so you kind of have to balance around that. But then it's also, some characters are just not fun when they're really, really strong. For example, if Revenant's the best carry in the game, it's not exactly a fun time because he's like, 3 auto-locking abilities, and then you get 1 tap, then you don't even get to play the game. So I think the reason they balance characters like Kira or like Murdoch a lot, for example, is just because they are a little bit more reasonable to play against than a character like Revenant, for example. Or like in mid, they'll nerf like Gideon instead of nerfing like Morigesh, for example, or like buffing Morigesh, I guess. As well as maybe they don't want to have power creep, so they like nerf characters as opposed to buff other characters, for example, or vice versa. Maybe they don't want it to be too low, so then they buff the lower end instead of nerfing the higher end. And then the last thing is just some characters are just naturally going to be worse as you have less characters. For example, Sparrow, she's immobile. She doesn't she get beat up by CC. You can't go, you have to go Eviscerator, you can't go Liberator, or you just don't do any damage. when there's more characters in the game that have less CC, for example, Greystone was added to the game, no CC. If you play against a Greystone and then, for example, like another jungler that doesn't have CC, Sparrow then can be like more of a counter.
Like Greystone, Feng Mao, yeah.
Yeah, and then you get a Sparrow as a counter pick into that because now they don't have CC to counter you. And that's kind of like where her strength comes from, which just requires more stuff to be put in the game before she can really shine.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying there, Reaper. I guess I was just more saying with the balancing side of it. Like I'm okay with them balancing from the bottom or balancing from the top. I don't care which way they balance from. I just want to see them use this time, early access. I just want to see them use this time to find their limits. Right, fine. This was too far. Mm-hmm. This is where we don't want to go that far because that we buffed them too much, right? And it's all right. Well, now the nerf side, we got all right. That's too far of a nerf. Aggressive. That's too much of it. We got to make sure. Then I just want them to find their limits and then work within those limits, right? I just feel like right now, just again, this is just our perception, and what they teach you in the Navy is perception's reality. As we're looking at these patches, everything is give and take. All right. Well, we took from Kira. We took this from Kira, so we're going to give her this. We took this from Kira, so we're going to give her this. And it's the same thing with all the items and the heroes. Instead of just being, hey, Kira's too strong, we took this from her. Like that would be okay. And it doesn't have to be a strong take. Like, you don't have to make her unplayable. You don't got to put her down there with Sparrow and so Sparrow's not lonely anymore. I'm not saying that. But give her a nerf to where it's like, okay, but now she's got a nerf and a buff. It's like, okay, where is it? Like, where did you go? Like, we all agree that Kira is strong and she needs a nerf, but she got a nerf buff, and it's like, okay, well, maybe technically the buff you gave her may have actually made her stronger. And now we got to play her and find out, which is obviously we love the idea of having to play and find out, but I just think they need to take the time to find out where those limits are and then balance within those limits.
I'll add to what you were saying, Bearden, just because I think it would be healthy to the game to see some characters get dethroned. Like if Kira's the best and they adjust her and she's a little bit more manageable now, like I think it's healthy for a game for somebody to be like, yo, this season, Kira ain't it, bro. Kira was king last season. This season ain't Kira's season. This season is TwinBlast season. And the next season they adjust some shit. Bro, I don't know fucking why, but Drongo is the king this season. Like add a little bit more variety that way.
Playing devil's advocate with you, because I'm not saying that I disagree with you, but Kira's their OG hero. So
yeah, that one is always going to get loved. That's a good point.
You want her to be on the throne for the least of time being until we get other OG heroes out there. Like let her be the one that's reigning queen right now.
Bro, her being an OG hero, it'll be if she's second in the roster, good luck. Like they got to try and make her look as good as possible, right? Like that's a good point.
Next hero out.
Get ready, that fucking lizard.
One thing that I saw, I didn't see in the patches that still irks me. It's been a couple patches now that they haven't even added a new item, or and that just irks me. And I'm
that's a good point.
At this point, we've pretty much seen what items synergize well with each other. Now we're just trying to see, okay, does it synergize with a new hero every base patch, right? But I think it would be 10 times better if we could just at least get one item every big patch, because right now builds are getting stale and I'm so tired of building the same thing. It is so annoying at this point.
Add on to that, I'm kind of curious too, because they seem to they'll take an item and just completely change the passive on it. I'm curious as to why they don't just add a new item with the new passive instead of just removing it from an item that exists and then adding a completely new passive to an item that's already.
I got a theory. That shit might be totally wrong, but we know the item art is placeholder item art. What if they're like, we don't got any good item art to use, to be real with you, for the new item?
It's not good. You're on the right track, Windu, because that's what I was going to go with. But not the fact that they have no good item art, because the item art they have right now is trash. So in that case, there should be no items in the game. So, but they had to use something that UE has. This is what they have with their little placeholder items, and it's horrible. It's something like Smite would use. It's just that bad of graphics.
Oh my god,
I can't stand it. So, anyways, but on that track, similar to that though. I think it's got something to do with the UI and how things are being changed, and item art is coming. So it's like we could put something in there and go through all the work of putting this item in this the trash item art in there and put this new item in there, and then we got to change it with the UI anyways. So we're just gonna hold off on that. Well, right now this is the bare minimum we'll make this work, and then once the new UI changes and the store changes, then we can start putting, or the item store or whatever, that little thing, that stuff can then change, and we'll go from there. That's what I'm guessing is happening with items.
Hear me out. Totally off the wall. 99% likely not happening. But what if with the new UI they were to give us some like animated item art? Like even like you get what I'm saying? Like imagine they got some brand new item art for Stormbreaker, right? And when you open it in the store, you see the lightning kind of fizzling on the store. Maybe not in the game, because that's a little bit too much. Just have the solid picture in the corner.
GP won't hold it.
That's what I'm saying. When you're in the store and just the store is open, it's like, that item looks dope as fuck. I don't even know what it does. Click.
I think I'll set the settings to low.
He said no shadows.
Honestly, that would be great, but I mean, I'm still trying to have the minions not aggro onto space and air, so I'm not gonna hold my breath for that one. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I know. Like I say, 99% not gonna happen, but wishful thinking. That'd be some spicy shit. What if with a new UI? Well, so here's the thing. We know for a fact the probably most recent version of a UI change is going to be to please PlayStation, right? That's already been confirmed. And then there's other UI changes coming after the fact. We know that for a fact off of what Robbie told us. But what if, because I could imagine if they're planning UI, they've been talking about wanting to get their own item art already for 4 years at this point. Something like that.
Yeah.
Like what if, because that's an art person in the background, bro. All those item arts could be ready, but they might be waiting to make the bang with the new UI,
Exactly, yeah.
I do have a feeling that's the type of thing that's going on, but I mean, just from the player perspective, that's something that like is like in the back of my mind every patch, like big patch, just like okay, I would really like an item, and then I cross my fingers and hope for the next patch.
I've been saying that since the alphas. I literally cannot stand, as much as you heard the disdain in my voice when I was talking about these item arts. They're trash, man. I hated it in the beginning. Like I'm sitting here playing Fault during these alphas, and Fault had good item art. They did it. They came out with their new fresh item art, and they refreshed it twice actually. They came out with like, this is our new item art, and then said, no, we're gonna make this even better, and they made it like a good item art. As if Fault can do it, come on, Predecessor, you got 20 million. Where's yours at? But they do have the item art guy that's been making the avatars and stuff like that. So like, sorry, not the item art. They have the art guy that's making the avatars and stuff like that. So I would think it's safe to assume that person can also make the item art, and so they got somebody on staff already that's doing this stuff. I think we good to get something there.
I mean, they definitely have more than $20 million now with that $16 TwinBlast skin. So
I I just paid for that, so they should they got money coming their way. I should get at least some. I should be able to get a choice of an item art. Hey, let me choose an item art I want changed.
That'll be great.
I just want amazing blue. Give me ice core talons, but like give me like a Wolverine, like it's just hand with the 3 claws. Give me that item art. It's already Wolverine style as the ice core talons is. I mean, might as well just give me the Wolverine style of it. So
I have a little kind of spicy speculation. It's like this is my prediction. I can be totally off the mark on this, right? So we're on version,
right, guys. He already knows.
Yeah, he's just trying to cover himself.
I'm actually speculating first. Okay, we're on version 0.9, right? Yes. That means the next patch with Blizzard is going to be version 1.0, right?
No, 0.10.
No,
0.1.
0.1 or point.
It'd be, no,
Anyways, is it 0.1?
Because it's 0.9 right now. No, you're right. So it'd just be 0.10. You're right.
Right. Be version. It's version 0.9. There'll be version 1.0.
1.0 is full release.
1.0 would be full release. Yes, that's So the point. So it's actually 0.
It can go to like
0, but they don't put the 0.0 in. So until they make a hot fix, right, or something, or a patch or the next balance patch, right? So it's 0.9, 0.1 the next balance patch if there's no hot fix between now and then. So the 0.1 is a very small, like a balance patch or a hot fix or something like that. That's that third number. The middle number are these medium, decent sized patches, like a hero release or something like that. The first number is going to be your full release or like a big major change, like going from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. Type, change.
So I fully understand what Joey and Lance are saying in the chat, because technically 0.1 is also the same numerical value as 0.10. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in the gaming world, they literally will go all the way up to like 0.99, and then they'll be like 0.103. Like they'll just extend that number just basically because it's a stage, not necessarily.
But 0.1 and 0.10 are not the same, because you have another decimal behind it to make the 10 a higher numerical number than 1. That's where that's where the second decimal comes in. It makes that number actually have value, because yes, anything a normal decimal 0.1, like if I have $1.10, that's fine. That 0.1 is there, and then anything after that that can't get any higher, right? But you can with the other decimal behind that in this situation.
Yeah, and that's basically what I was saying. Like it's a standalone number, not actual numerical value, so to speak. It's not like we're counting cents or whatever.
Right.
I mean, 0.1 cent and 10 cents look exactly like that, just to let you guys know.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's, if we're talking currency, yeah, that should make sense. 1.0 is around the corner. But as far as like the way that they structure it, so to speak,
right?
They could stretch that number forever.
It should be 0.01, 0.02, 0.03 to help Lance and them feel good and not have their OCD bother them. But that's just how it is. So
yeah, because I'm in the same thing. Like that's gonna probably bother me if I see like I'm expecting because it's a pattern, right? It goes up and then numerically it goes back down, and me chemistry brain is like losing my mind. So I just need to like, okay.
Joey's gonna stop playing for the 0.10 patch just because of that.
He said, "Bro,
play until it's finally fixed.
Boycott till you fix the numbers." Shit, I can't.
But I mean, after 0.10, what are you going to tell me that 0.11 it doesn't exist then? Like, what is that? Like, what patch is that, Lance? Explain that one to me, you Hawkeye fan.
I mean, he also didn't get as well of an education as the rest of us, So.
Damn, bro. Yo, chill out. Oh, shit. And speaking of education, so this AI, right? What a segue.
I'm going to read the sound improvements first before we get into the AI that are still in the patch notes, and then we'll go over the toxicity with the AI. All right. Sound improvements. We don't normally hand the mic over to other teams in the fortnightly patch notes. Is that really a word? Fortnightly?
I got Florida education, so you're gonna have to.
I feel like that. I feel like that should bother us, like Paragon fans that don't like Fortnite. Like, what the hell? Teams in the fortnightly.
That might be that.
Somebody look that up and give me a definition and chat what that means, guys. But considering we couldn't have a mic if it wasn't for the sound team, we thought we'd make an exception. Take it away, Bartos. Again, if I said that wrong, I'm sorry. Not only have we added new sounds for TwinBlast, the core, and minions, but we also dedicated to improving the audio mix for an even better experience. In the recent update, we made a change by assigning each hero to a listener switch. This means that as a local player, you'll now enjoy fully spatialized enemies and allies, greatly enhancing the overall clarity of the action and making navigation through the world of Predecessor a breeze. We want to empower you to make the most informed decisions after all. Furthermore, we're working on improving the balance of the audio mix and adding a limiter to ensure that audio doesn't clip during intense moments. And I feel like that's what was happening for me. I feel like it was clipping. We're also addressing the crash issue you might have been experiencing by optimizing our audio and limiting the number of sounds that can play simultaneously. Unfortunately, the crash is ultimately caused by the Unreal Engine's editor, but rest assured, we're on top of it. We generally hope you enjoy these changes, and we would love to hear your thoughts. Please feel free to share your feedback with us. Thank you for being an amazing part of our community. Bartos, lead sound designer. All right. I said I thought it was clipping, but again, in that next paragraph, it says about that simultaneously playing, right? So it's like, I don't know if it was a lot of things were happening. So then I started like that, like because of all the other stuff was going on, that my autos got taken away. Like that was an audio I didn't get to hear, and I didn't get to hear the gold, that I got from minions for last hitting. But I'm like sitting there, I was like, I don't know what's happening. Like, so I don't know if it's clipping, I don't know if it's a simultaneous thing, but there was something going on with the games when we were playing last night.
No, I've had that happen to me too in a couple of games. I think they fixed the initial sound bug to where it crashes your game to now, okay, you guys could just have to deal with some basic attacks really quick. That's not that big of an impact. So, I mean, as long as my game's not crashing every other game now, I'm okay with it. So,
True, it's a lesser evil. But
right.
I gotta say, I'm a big sound guy. Hashtag, I'm gonna hit me up if y'all need me. But like legit, it's wild to me. And I know they said that it's mainly on the Epic side, right? So their hands are kind of tied. They're kind of trying to work in tandem with Epic to kind of try and find a solution, more than likely. But it's wild to me that it comes down to just shutting, like, I guess this is kind of the give and take, right? Because they're shutting off certain sounds because of too many sounds happening at the same time, causing an issue, but simultaneously giving us a spatialized sound environment, like a kind of like an enhanced, like, 360 headphones are going to be popping, sort of vibe. Right. So I on one side I love it because I love the whole 360, Dolby Atmos. Some people just use Windows Sonic, for example, but that whole 360 vibe in a game like this is honestly amazing. But having sounds missing, like, I get it's a lesser evil, but fuck, bro, like there's got to be a better fix than your own sounds missing, Like, granted, maybe if the Richter is pulling me, the enemy Richter, and I don't hear the pull, then at that point, I'm not going to like it, but I would rather hear my own shit and not hear somebody else's,
Yeah, I think
you're the opposite?
Priority. I think it might be a priority situation.
I think sound cues on the enemy abilities are more important than sound cues on my own abilities. Because I'm reacting to what I'm hearing sometimes. Like if somebody's behind me or something, I'm going to react to that as opposed to like visually, because I'm not looking at the person. And I think it's very important, especially in like team fights.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that
Richter hit his E, he knows he's coming in at you right now?
Or like a steel ult or something, to liberate it.
That's true. You can hear that shit from around the corner for sure. So was the crashing going on that much? Like, was it that many people?
With Greystone, it happened to me. I didn't crash, luckily, but it happened to me when Greystone got released. I noticed that it was like next thing you know, my sound like went quiet, and then it started. It was like you could hear it was catching up, but it was like I was like, oh, it's behind me. I'm like,
it was like an echo almost.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, then it started being like an echo. I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then it finally like it like buffered itself out and it fixed. I'm like, okay, but I found out later on that people were crashing. The games were crashing when that was happening. Like I apparently just missed it. Like I was able to finish the game, didn't crash. It only happened to me one time, but I was like, ooh, all right. But yeah, apparently it was happening quite frequently. Some matches, they even did a hot fix for it, I believe.
Yeah, but they reverted it because that didn't fix it. But like people, like there'd be so many DCs that the match wouldn't even count the entire match, so we'll just go out.
Do you think that's like an issue? So I don't know, like I'm not a dev or anything. Does that have to do with them going to Unreal Engine 5 as opposed to being on Unreal Engine 4? If it's an Unreal issue?
It's probably a skill issue, but no, I'm playing.
I fucking can't with them. Holy shit. Oh, bro. I fucking can't. Got me weak. But you know what? That's a great point, because Unreal Engine 5 is the newest thing, and we all know the newest thing, the DX12 versus DX11, sometimes the newest thing can be a little bit buggy, or it's not as refined as the true and tested old format, right? So it's possible.
That's why a lot of games like Paragon Overprime and Fault, Paragon Overprime currently has one, and Fault had an option for you to switch between DX11 and DX12, because it's not always a good option. So it's whatever best fits you in that situation. They give you the ability to change between the two.
Right.
So yeah. Real quick, I did ask the definition, and Intharth gave me the definition. Fortnightly is a British word, and that's why I didn't know it. But it means happening or produced every 2 weeks. So it literally is very fitting for this statement that was given here.
All I'm saying is
never heard the word before. So
you could just say bi-weekly. I mean, that's all I'm saying. All right.
All right. Toxicity?
Yeah. Let's hit it.
It's my favorite thing in the world.
I can't with them, bro.
All right. Here at Meta Studios, we're always listening closely to what our community is saying. Your feedback is crucial to the development of Predecessor, guiding many essential tweaks and changes which we believe will benefit the game for years to come. There's a lot to do during early access, and we recognize that addressing player toxicity continues to be a big point on our to-do list. Fundamentally, and any game is only as enjoyable as the community, and a healthy community experience is the backbone of the type of MOBA we want to build. We want to make Predecessor a fun, inviting, and sustainable place for everyone who might come to play it. To achieve this, however, we need to make a few changes. AI-powered chat moderation featuring auto muting. So far, the vast majority of moderation in Predecessor has been done manually, which, as you can imagine, is not only time-consuming, but also highly unsustainable in the long run. We've spent some time testing various different anti-toxicity solutions and have landed on an AI-based, industry-leading solution that we've been quietly training for a number of weeks now. And with the version 0.9.0 game update, we'll finally switching to it. So how does it work? The AI tool is trained to recognize a huge list of words and phrases that we don't consider welcome in our game, including a wide range of threats, insults, slurs, and more. Each time the tool detects this kind of language, it'll automatically flag, log, and even take action based on the severity of the message. If the offense justifies a penalty, it'll be applied automatically and immediately, without the need for manual review. This does mean that some messages might be inappropriately or accidentally flagged, but the system will account for your chat history when deciding whether any action is needed.
I'm going to type the word assassin and get banned, bro.
Right? If you believe you have been flagged and penalized inappropriately, please get in touch with members of the community teams on our Discord server. On the lighter end of the spectrum, toxic messages will simply be removed. If a player continues their toxic messaging, they may also then receive a temporary chat ban. And if they still insist on their chat tirade after the penalties lift, the next punishment will be longer, eventually scaling to a complete inability to use chat features again, ever. Obviously, no automated tool is perfect, and this is just the first iteration of how this will work. Luckily, this new AI is highly adaptive and customizable, meaning we can tweak parameters on the fly to fine-tune its performance as our community and player base develops, grows, and changes. And as with everything else we're doing during early access, we'll be constantly monitoring its impact to ensure the system is robust and performing correctly. We also understand that although we don't expect them to be common, false positives can sometimes occur during automated moderation processes. Rest assured, we can and we will lift any sanctions a player might have received should a manual investigation show that a player was unjustly muted or banned from a chat. Hopefully, all of that means that you'll see strong improvement in the health of our in-game chat experience, that you'll have more fun playing Predecessor, and that you'll continue to as our player base increases. This is just the first step on a very long journey. This system will continue to evolve and expand. You want to talk about that? I'm gonna keep reading. Keep going on reading them.
You're good.
I gotta say I'm pretty interested in the fact that they're adding AI automation, right? Now I'm actually very curious because they said it's gonna grow and evolve, right? So is it actual AI automation, or is it just like the traditional bots that we're used to in Discord? It's not AI specifically, you know?
I mean, I think it is an AI, but I think what they do when they're talking about like they could change it while the community grows is like, okay, they can tell the AI like, okay, these are slurs that like are not in the dictionary, or like that's probably not in your programming that like someone created, right? And they can just insert that in there and be like, okay, cool, now it's updated, or just like increase like the severity of it, like, hey, we want you to actually put a little bit more of a strictness on these type of words. So I think that's where they're coming from with it, but I think it is a true AI because one, they're working on the UI, so I doubt they're going to put a lot of manpower into trying to make sure the AI quote unquote bot works. So that's my only reasoning behind that.
I mean, okay. I mean, I see it, and I really hope that it is true AI also, just because, and especially in today's day and age, it's almost like AI is starting to get integrated into everything, right? Like right. You're almost an old head company if you don't have some sort of AI in your game, right? Like, who knows? AI optimized builds might be coming in the future and shit like that. Like, by all means, like I'm okay with it. I'm very, I can already imagine the messages in the Discord that we're gonna see, because people getting auto banned, right? I hope it's not
auto banned.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I guess they'll know, but we'll be like, okay, sure. Be like, I see that name. I know who you are. What the fuck did you say, bro? Be like, okay, I've seen how you talk to me. I can imagine how you talk to a random. That's all I'm saying. Shit. But yeah, I think overall it's pretty good, and we just had a poll here that I've had on the screen for a little bit, and everybody in the chat voted that yes, AI moderation is good for the game. Like, nobody thinks that the auto mute or anything like that. I did find it spicy that it said ever in there. Like, bro, permanent chat bans?
Yeah,
I know people that need that day one.
I literally have I'm not gonna name any like people, but there's some people that be like, oh yeah, like I'm bad when it's like I type stuff out then delete it, you know, kind of thing. But like there's some people that don't care, and I'm like, there's no way you are still in this game playing and typing in chat. I don't know how.
Bro, nuts. So I'm telling you, some people, if there is a log, day one is coming for you, bro. I'm gonna just let you know.
I'm all for it though. I think it's a good thing because like before this, we're sitting here telling all the new people to literally just automatically mute chat. Right. Just so you have a good experience. You're not pushed away. You're not getting that negative experience with your first couple of games just because somebody's slamming you because you're new. Right. And especially if this is good to have beforehand and get everything fleshed out and tuned to where they want it to the fact that when they do make that marketing push that Robbie was talking about on the 2 podcasts ago now, when they make that marketing push and we start getting people in here, when they're not going to get that, that flame that they don't deserve because they're new and they're trying to learn, right? They deserve a comfortable place to play and not get flamed all the time. So I'm all about this because I hated telling people to just automatically turn chat off. I tried telling them to, like, once somebody starts getting bad, just mute that one person, go and individually mute that one person, because the other 3 people on your team might actually be trying to help you. But if you automatically just go into a game muted, you can't get that help that you're trying to get. So this here, I think, is a good step forward.
Right. Honestly, I think it's a good, like, not like a gatekeeper, but like kind of having like a babysitter in like each game, kind of just so people like
sort of gatekeepers
on the verge. Yeah, pretty much.
But it's like gatekeeper is a good word because it low-key it prevents people from taking that initial step,
right?
Because oftentimes we all know that the conversations of toxicity is what really ruin it, right? Like the 1 or 2 comments, like we're all in the real world. Like if somebody says you suck, it happens, but it's what happens after that. That's what I'm saying. It's the repercussions, because they'll be like, hey. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's a scale, the escalation that happens after that. So if they're able to gatekeep, if they're able to just shut it off right then and there, Maybe it's just an overall better experience throughout. Maybe I won't get banned because I didn't get tempted to type something because that guy's message got stopped, right?
Exactly.
Because we all know we're one comment away from being the bad guy, Like,
no, I don't even draft dodge, bro. No. Not me.
No, you never draft dodge a day.
No.
That's crazy.
Don't ask me to draft dodge now.
No, I don't draft.
But
I draft Ford. It's what I draft. I don't draft dodge.
Bro, I don't want to see what my timer will be, but let's not do it, okay?
I actually have to track my dodge tire because I'm like, I get one every week. And
bro, 2 week rolling is rough.
Is it worth it?
2 week rolling is rough because, bro, I will not be paying attention and just not choose a character or some random bullshit like that, right? And I'll be like, well, what the fuck are we gonna do for 15 minutes? God damn it, bro. Like, shit, I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat. I'll warm up a Hot Pocket and watch some Netflix in the meantime or some shit. So it's a struggle. But yeah, we can go ahead and keep reading into it.
Our vision for healthy community, introducing the Predecessor Community Charter. Today also marks the launch of our community charter, also known in some parts of the internet as Code of Conduct. So this needs to be a parentheses, for fortnightly, also known in the internet as bi-weekly. A brand new section of our website that lists what we're doing to support and protect our players, what kinds of behavior we expect to see from you, and of course, what kind of things are not welcome in our communities. We'd love it if you could have a read through it. And I think there's somewhere you can click and read that.
You can click on the link.
A little intimidating, but please rest assured that we've made it as simple as possible, protecting what is already so great about our communities while honing in on the more negative traits we're keen to curb. Ultimately, if you're a good human being who puts their focus on enjoyment, teamwork, and healthy competition, these new rules and automatic systems won't affect you even slightly. So you might be good, Reaper, depending. We hope you see the benefits the new automated system brings in tomorrow's version 0.9 game update, and that you champion the new community charter throughout your predecessor adventure. Speaking of which, did you know that Code of Conduct is actually a requirement for the console submission of a new video game? How interesting.
Bro,
so again, this is something that they also are putting because it's essential, also known as required.
I'm not gonna lie.
Also known.
It's like the biggest tease when it comes to console information, because they always slide something just somewhere. Like all these big patches, like, oh, this is for console, by the way, and just like winks at you and then just walks away.
Well, they did say they were submitting to PlayStation, at least the initial submission.
Yeah,
last week, right? Friday. So it's. I'm just honestly, I'm getting more mind blown every single week, and I'm like, damn, bro, is PlayStation this fucking stingy? Like, PlayStation needs that many requirements, these little things. Like, you need to have an official code of conduct. Like, it kind of makes sense now that in some of the console games that we play, there's a little, hey, these are the game rules, or this is the about the game section randomly just in the corner of the page.
Yeah.
So,
or as soon as you launch into a match, you launch into a game, it's like that first thing you see is that you got to hit check accept, and then you got to go down, you got to scroll all the way down to get the accept button to light up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that's how you kind of keep your store clean for like PlayStation, Xbox, right? I mean, I'm glad you're seeing some of the questionable games on Steam, right? Because they don't have that same restrictions that Xbox and Microsoft has, right? Or Microsoft and Sony has, right? So there's definitely a little bit more steps you have to go through making sure that it looks professional on the PlayStation Store or Xbox Store.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen SoulReaper Steam list. It's wild.
I got 3 games in there.
We got 3 games in there.
They're all free to play.
So thank you so much for reading this far. We're always happy to hear your feedback and answer any questions. Tell us on our Discord server, Twitter, and subreddit, Zuzu Community Experience Manager. So
this thing is actually Zuzu?
That's their name.
Ah, it's crazy. That's wild.
So I don't think we have a picture or anything to pull up on stream. But in this time, we've been talking to Intharth on the side here. Intharth and Jelly Knees have been teaming together to improve, and there might be other people too behind it. I don't know everybody behind the scenes on the speed run, but they've been working together on these speed runs. And I believe that For the Minions is hosting a little competition. You speed run with every character. As many characters as you can against AI matches, and solo AI matches, and you speed run against the timer to get to the core, and then you submit your time. And if you have the fastest, the most amount of fast times with all the characters, or as many characters as you can get, then you'll get $100. The person that has the second most amount of fast runs gets $50, and then the third place person that's got the third place amount, they gets $25. So you can do that. I hope, yep, there we go. I just got the link. So I'll post a link in chat, and I'll give the link to Windu so we can post on the YouTube version. But this is the link to join the speedrun, to submit your time in, and go from there. And I can copy this image, and when Windu gets back, he can post it on stream.
Yeah, I took a look at their actual code of conduct, and it's actually pretty nice to see on their page.
Windu, can you open up the picture? Sorry, Efsixx. Can you open the picture I just posted in our Predcast chat and pull that up on stream so people can see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Efsixx.
No, I just
code of conduct.
Yeah, the way they have it kind of was pretty cool how they did it. And I like that they just have it on their website as well. So that way, like, people don't have to like go into the game and look at that sidebar about info section or code of conduct section. So it's there for them as well.
Nice. So
All right, I got you up on the screen.
Perfect, thank you. So yeah, this is the For the Minion speedrun contest I was telling you guys about. So this kind of gives you a little more in-depth definition of what they want. It gives you the rules of the road and stuff like that. But yeah, $100, $50, $25. So if you're interested in doing that, if somebody like SoulReaper doesn't want to play the game, this might bring you back. You don't got to play against toxic people like Efsixx all the time. You can actually just play against AI and have a better chance of winning.
Better chance of winning.
I might hold on. Let me log in. I might be banned already.
Yeah, might be toxic.
Ooh. Are you a day one? You're a day oner?
AI not pulling their weight, man.
Honestly, Soul, if I'm not banned yet, I think you're good, my friend.
I've seen some of your messages.
Yeah. Had to reel it back. Day 3.
So,
Day 3.
we do that link I just posted in our Predcast chat again. That if we can post that in the description of this episode, so people can get to it when they watch the YouTube version.
I see. And really quick, can we take a second to talk about hashtag PredMemes?
Of course. Of course, you choose that time when Joey steps away real quick. You want to talk about PredMemes now?
No, he'll be back. He will be back. Tell everybody what hashtag PredMemes has been evolving to in the last 24 hours that shit started, right?
Less than 24 hours, I think. Well, maybe a little over 24 hours. My bad. Yeah, because we already started our stream by now. Yeah, Joey hit us up in our little DMs thing we have for Predcast. Hit us up. He said, "Hey guys, let's make this a thing." And we're like, "Okay, let's go." I was driving at the time, so I couldn't do anything. But
great idea.
Like, all right, yeah, it was a great idea. But so he started a little rivalry meme war between me and Windu. And
hey, that's some shit. He brought it up and doesn't participate. He just sits back and fucking watches.
Yeah, Windu made one flaming me, for not being good at ADC. I'm like, okay, and then I came back. I said, hey, this is what I want, and I still haven't got it. Windu said he was gonna make one for me. He still hasn't
sent it.
For me. I no, there was not one sent.
I swear I sent that in the Predcast. Yes.
No. Oh, it is there. All right, it's there now. Okay. So it wasn't showing up on my screen. So all right, I'll definitely start making. I'll post that one after the show, guys. So pay attention to my Twitter.
Heard. I'm showing a couple on screen while we talk.
Wolverine. But anyways, we started making these memes and started making some pred memes or whatever. And it's actually giving me actually Twitter content, because there's things I was like, what do I post on Twitter? You know, I've been posting the shorts and reposting, trying to get more community engagement in there and stuff like that. But like this, it's actually been pretty funny. And we had a pretty good Twitter war going before, our meme war, before we started our little customs last.
Bro, we've kept that shit going. Like, bro, whenever I saw the boys, I was like, oh, this motherfucker. Okay. I was like, okay. All right. And then other members in the community have been joining in. Medkit, Choice Plays, Joey posted it. Like, I'm like, bro, like this.
This is the best water right here, dude.
Oh shit, bro! This face.
I love it, dude. You know, this whole started because Medkit like got the screenshot of like TwinBlast, like very pixelated picture of TwinBlast. Keeps going down. Like,
yeah, we'll find it here in a second. Yeah. Or here, let me
this one of TwinBlast, and just it's one of those stupid kind of funny things you look at and just get like the meme templates going on them, right? And I saw that like, dude, this has potential to be just a great meme. So I was really trying to push this to be like one of those community meme templates to use, because that's like kind of like one of the cooler things about these kind of communities. Eventually, you get to the point where you can kind of start doing this like in-game, like more references memes you can do, and I think the TwinBlast is a pretty good name picture for that. So I really want this to kind of take off. His literally face tells it all, man. I just love it. It's not even a clear picture. It's so pixelated that makes it even like funnier, dude. I love it,
bro. Yeah, like I'm showing one on the screen of Mr. Meds right now. Console win. And then Omeda's like, the fuck.
So back to Joey not participating. He's like, hey, we gotta make this a thing, guys. So Windu made his about me. Yeah. And I said, hey, I want this. And I'll post it after the show and you guys will see it. But then and Joey's like, wait, you're not gonna fire back at Windu? I was like, well, I'm not gonna give Windu the ammo to feel, hey, make this meme about yourself. Like, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it. And I messaged Joey on the side and said, hey, Joey, I need you to make this for me. Because
that's how you started it. Okay.
So I didn't know how to make memes. I was like, all right. But so then Joey made one for me. But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fire back. But yeah, Joey's there the whole time. He's just like stoking the flames. So, wait, you're not gonna fire back at Windu? Like, no. And it's like, he's like, well, where's yours at? But hey, all good. I loved it. I get it. It gives me a little some Twitter content I can sit there and start posting.
Bro, I think
I'll look at a meme generator. Like, what can I make now? And that's what I made. I found that one. The was it the extra hell is what it's called? I literally when I saw extra hell, I'm literally thinking Elo hell. That's what I literally thought of. I'm like, this is a perfect meme for a game like this, that you have like you got that you're stuck in Elo hell and you're trying to drive yourself out of it. Like, perfect meme. I love it.
Bro, this is probably one of the best parts about like the predecessor community. It just kind of spawned out of nowhere. And now I'm to the point where I gotta throw out another meme. I gotta one up Bearded. I gotta talk some shit.
So we want to challenge the community and the devs. All right. We want to see your best Omeda predecessor meme. All right. Use the code #PredMemes, right? And post it, and the next Predcast, we're gonna pull up some good memes and we're gonna sit there and talk about them. Let's see what you guys can do. Okay, so you're watching this episode live or you're watching it on YouTube. #PredMemes. Create your own meme using something predecessor or have it tied to predecessor in some way. Let's see your best meme and see if you can top some of ours. All right, this has potential of being hilarious. So let's see what we can do and go with it.
Man, there's one where it's like when you tell your ADC to come to fake teeth, but he goes to gold buff.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, this one disrespected me right here, bro. Like this is the Omeda Death City one. I was like, yo,
that's the one I told Joey to make for me,
bro. I saw that one get posted. I was like, god damn, bro. Holy shit.
Man.
Oh, bro. Hey, man, it's all good fun and games. But yeah, that'd be actually really spicy if all the members of the next panel, we just come up and we're like, yo, I think I got the best meme. And we could actually put it up to a poll because we now have that integrated with Kick. We could actually put it up to a poll, have it up on the screen, and just let everybody vote. That's live there on the spot. So make sure you guys are there live to be able to vote which one the best meme is going to be. I think that'll actually be pretty cool. It'd be cool.
So
we start with that.
We'll pick like the top 5 and what we think. Because I'm assuming we're gonna get
a couple at least,
bunch, right? I think we're gonna get a bunch. So we'll pick like top 5 or something like that, and then we'll put a poll on the top. We'll show you our top 5 and we'll go from there. But I think this is gonna be really fun. I think this is something we can do continually. This could be like a little segment of the Predcast. Like, all right, we're here for the Pred meme section. Let's see what we have our latest Pred memes.
I'm particularly proud of the Barney one, bro. I went out of my way to find this Barney picture, bro.
This one, you posted this one, and that's when I posted the one with the Nicolas Cage and one. It's like, these are casuals, right?
Oh, here goes that the Attack Gold Buff one.
Dude, it's the most accurate thing in Pred ever in my life.
I will say this is probably the most engagement I've seen out of people. Like, that isn't just typing console win. It's sort of vibe,
You're right.
Don't worry, that console win's still gonna be there until it's on every single console. Even
100%, bro.
Efsixx. You're my known Redditor, right? I know you make Reddit posts and people follow you on there. Can you make this PredMemes a post on there to announce that we're doing this challenge for the Predcast and get people on there to I know there's good people on Reddit that's going to make this a thing. So let's get that. I know you'll post it on there. I don't do Reddit, so I know you'll do that for me. So I appreciate that. And then I'll post this on Twitter so people know that. Again, follow me on Twitter. I've been making a lot of posts for the Predcast and stuff like that. Speaking of the Predcast, I want to make an announcement. Take this time real quick, make an announcement. I have been working my ass off talking to dev. I can tell you right now, I have Alex already lined up to come on the show. Alex is one of the lead game designers. He's coming on later on. He's going to be on baby leave, so congratulations to him. I got Alex coming on, and then I got Jay Shred's going to be coming on. He's the one that's doing the matchmaking, working on the matchmaking. So once the new matchmaking gets implemented, he's going to come on and talk about the old and talk about the new.
Super cool guy, by the way.
So shout out to Jay Shreds and Demandi real quick. They were the ones that joined us for. They're the ones that joined us for our Bearded versus Windu customs event we did last night. But we got Jay Shreds and we got Demandi coming on eventually. Demandi is like a junior game designer. He works under Blood Mortius. I have Smokey coming on. Smokey's gonna be coming on a month from now, so he's gonna be doing the Lizard Man episode. And the big news, I am in works. I've already got it kind of confirmed, but we got to work out dates and stuff like that. But we're gonna be having Robbie on quarterly.
RGSA's the CEO.
RGSA, so the CEO, going to be coming on. We're going to be talking about the game and updates on the game and update on CEO and how things are going. So stay tuned. You guys helped us grow. We're going to grow even more, but we've been working with getting a bunch of devs on here. And I have to go through the gauntlet. I got to get all these other devs on first. Once I get all these other devs on first, I've been talking with Ray. We're going to get Ray on here as well. We just got to get through all these other devs until he finally says he can, he's comfortable coming on. But I do shout out to Ray, though. Ray's been doing great. He's been hit me up with other devs trying to get them involved as well. So I do appreciate that. So we are growing, guys, and this is going to be great. So I can't wait to see where we go.
Yeah.
But
shout out to the cast and everybody that's made it happen, for damn sure. It's spicy, bro.
Definitely.
Hopefully after that SoulReaper comes back, we'll see.
Maybe.
That's perfect.
What do you mean? He's on the Predcast.
Perfect segue. SoulReaper. We went from exciting news, and we're gonna go kind of a little negative here. Why haven't you been playing Predecessor? I really want to know. Give us that in-depth information.
I think the biggest reason is lack of reason to play the game and lack of like a ranked mode. One or the other, either some type of progression system or a ranked mode, either one. I'll grind a ranked mode. Doesn't even have to have any rewards. Just give me a rank 1. That's you know what I mean? Or give me a progression system, one of the two. That's like the biggest thing. It's just like I enjoy the game. The gameplay is good, but that's all it is. It's just gameplay. I think I would make the comparison a lot on stream. Is I think the game released a lot in the same way that Halo Infinite released, where the gameplay is really good, but there's not a lot of content in the game. It's just gameplay, and that's only goes so far, right? And that's how I feel the game has been, and for that reason, I'm just taking a little break from it. When I come back, there'll be a lot of content that I have to catch up on, and then stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it'll be a little bit more fresh.
Yeah. No, that's actually, to me, that's great information, right? It's not like you didn't leave the game because the game wasn't fun for you, or it was just too bugged out, or like the devs aren't communicating. You know, you're not just like, you don't have bad feelings towards anything.
No, the game's great. I like the game.
You just need a little bit more.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's good. And you know, for an icon like you towards the community of people watching, you know, you always have people watching you play Predecessor and stuff like that. You always got good numbers going on. So, you know, that's just good for people to hear that it's like, wait, man, Reaper's not playing. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's just, we need more.
Are you not doing competitive scene either, out of curiosity?
I don't know if I'll play the PCC. The one coming up, I know it's got like a $3,500 prize pool or something like that. Shout out to them. I know Lance is doing that. Like Joelster and them. I don't know if I do. It'll be like on the fly, just kind of showing up day of, as opposed to like, you know, like scrimming actively and, you know, grinding the game. I just don't know if I can do that. At least in the current state.
Yeah.
Doesn't want his mental to be shot.
I mean, no, because I totally get it, right? Like, I'm definitely, like, Bearded knows this. Bearded and Joey know this more specifically than anybody. I have kept up to date, but I've been literally to the point where I'm like, I'm with you, Reaper. I don't necessarily have the incentives. I love awesome skins. The skins that we've gotten are, in my opinion, okay at best, because they're kind of sandbagging the cool skins for later, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm to the point where I'm like, I've just been playing once a week to stay relevant with the game, test a couple things here and there, going to AI, pay a couple of PvP, etc. But I haven't had too much of a reason to, like, I want to play this game again, right? And I expressed that vocally quite a bit in a couple past episodes here. But I gotta say, and I know you're not a duo main, but TwinBlast definitely, at least for me, has totally changed that game. So I'm wondering, do you think it might take the next big mid laner to bring you back?
I don't think it's like a character thing. I think it's just the next big like system, I guess. Like their next character is original. I'll probably end up playing just to try them out, because like original character is not something I've played in another game. So like TwinBlast, like I said, I've played in Fall, I played in OP. Even if it's a little different, I've played it, but an original character I have not. So I'll probably end up trying him a few games and just seeing how he feels, but I don't know if I'll like continue to play the game like daily or whatnot, like I was, or if I'll just wait till like there's a big like update. Probably the UI update, I would imagine, would be the biggest update coming up outside of the original character. So maybe like that would be something. It would take like some type of system that would keep me engaged as like a more competitive player. I want to grind for something, and currently you can't really grind for anything. You don't even get like platinum pass level. Like my account's like level 70 or something like that.
Yeah, like in this season, that's not a thing. Last season, it was cool.
Yeah, you don't get anything anymore. I know Robbie said he was gonna like email some like pred merch to the top 10, or mail some pred merch to the top like 10 people level wise. But I mean, I clicked on some streams and I play the game a lot. You know what I mean? Or like I was, and there are people that are like 15 levels above me, and I'm like, there's no way I'm even gonna touch that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bro, there's a lot of, I don't want to use the term no life because I wanted them to support the game.
Well, that's the term, man.
I mean, I was playing the game 6 hours a day and scrimming, so like
that's the term.
I was playing a lot, and they were higher level than me.
That's that summer vacation life, bro.
We don't say that in a negative content. That's just a term, you know. That's just what it is. Like you literally are no life in the game. Like in that situation, if you're able to put that,
that's
time
fair.
in, like, you know, like it does have. You're not saying it with a negative connotation, but it does have a negative connotation to it if you just call somebody a no lifer. But like in this situation, that's just kind of what it is. It is what it is. You know, if a spade is a spade, you know, like you gotta call it what it is. So
it's not like you're telling them to go touch grass or anything.
yeah, right. Yeah, you
know,
do know life.
Not in that many words.
Keep up the support, man. I'm all about it. You know, if you're maybe you got your PC setup is in the grass. I don't know. You good luck with it.
Outside playing on the laptop.
I only tell solo laners to go touch grass.
But so from what I'm understanding, SoulReaper, you just said you're gonna play with when Lizard shows up, so you're gonna join Windu and I for the customs.
maybe.
Hey, man. Well, that's the thing. We take turns.
We literally take turns. We make it so where people aren't forced to have to lock in TwinBlast jungle or TwinBlast mid or TwinBlast off lane, Joey.
Just no competing, yeah.
In there. You could actually play ADC TwinBlast, where he's meant to be played. That's the whole point of it. Like the first game, me and Windu, we obviously get the first rights to play the new character. That's what we just kind of how we set up. But
that's our usual tradition.
We're literally like, hey, who wants them, take them, and we'll go from there. And we just have fun with it, and it's literally just a casual thing. We're just chillaxing, having fun, and I'm beating Windu, and that's all that happens.
Casuals for Windu.
Oh, it's only casuals. It's only casual. Didn't you see the meme about Barney, right? But yeah, bro. Like I will say, probably the best part is the ease around it and like the casual aspect to it, because of course we're also trying to win, right? But giving a chance to somebody to be like, hey, you know what? You want to try TwinBlast mid? YOLO. This is a perfect spot because we can at least communicate and try to compensate for you. Like the last game of the day that our team, like, because we go round base, right? The last round of the day, my team ended up winning. We still lost the whole event, but Pappy decided to go Narbash solo. And we're like, Pappy, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, yo, you're trying to throw? Like, come on. Pappy just literally sitting in the corner with those thick ass drumsticks. Just like, that shit was hilarious, bro. But it's.
Narbash jungle is number one. So.
Nah, chill out, bro. I got told I needed to ult the way.
By the way, someone's been like on a 9-game win streak with it and higher elos. Like, no joke. So
literally, Narbash is slept on, and I'm not gonna lie, because somebody spent I think 40,000 points for me to play it, and I was shocked by how easy it is to play Narbash anywhere you want.
Right. Okay. Let's not say that too loud. Anyway.
Don't say too loud.
Oh, bro. But yeah, Reaper, Efsixx, Joey, everybody's always welcome. We got a little system built in that we try to let people play with who they want, but if it's a little bit too unbalanced, we got a system built in that basically it's like a little MMR that we have in place that generalizes, right? Experience, intermediate, beginner, or learning, I guess if you could call it at that point, right? Like depending on where you are on that board, we'll place you, and then it'll actually tell us which are the teams, just to try to make it a little bit smoother. But yeah, I mean, who knows? We might see ourselves a little SoulReaper, Joey, Efsixx. Medkit's probably gonna jump in there. YOLO, get crashing. Everybody that showed up on Predcast before, show up.
Efsixx, come on, man. We know you're going to the duo link because you want Windu to hold your hand. Come on.
What do you mean? I will meet you in mid. I will literally meet you in mid.
Come on, man.
All right. So we understand. All right.
Make sure you look both ways when you cross the street into the jungle.
For sure.
Shadow, everybody's welcome, man.
Yo, I need a SoulReaper memes, bro. Where the fuck are these memes at, homie? You got these one-liners.
A younger me.
For all of you that want to join it,
is it on MySpace?
This is a month from now, but if you want to join it, exclamation point customs if you're live on Watch and Kick, exclamation point customs in chat the code still should work, and it'll bring up the link to the Discord. That's Windows Discord. That's where we hold it at. Join that Discord, and you'll be ready. You'll be there. Windu, is it possible? I guess I should hit you up in DMs on this, but I can ask you right now. Is it possible for you to make a little role that people can accept that role, and then we can just do an to let people know, hey, we're starting up, and get people rolling in
the Discord? Yeah.
If this starts to get bigger, we're gonna want to get hey, join now, or if we're looking for 2 or something like that, we can do an at, hey, need 2 more or something.
Yeah, this will be our 4th event going, and it's already looking like next event we're probably gonna have to have multiple customs running at a time, because we had 10 people and then there were people waiting, right? We just only had like 7 or 8, like it wasn't a full 10 waiting. But as word keeps spreading, it's cool little rivalries and such. We honestly, so here's a little shout out to content creators out there. We might honestly bring in other content creators into this little rivalry, right? Like right now it's Windu versus Bearded, but what if there's a team Efsixx? What if there's a team Joey? What if there's a team SoulReaper? Who's gonna get the most amount of wins by the end of the night? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, we could expand it if it's gonna turn into a thing, bro. That would actually be a very awesome community event where creators try to kind of play with their communities and be like, yo, this is my team, this is that. But I will say, the moment that SoulReaper shows up with his comp team, we might have to balance that shit out. I'm gonna just throw that one out.
Yeah, that's our biggest thing, is we want it to be casual fun. Like, we're all competitive at
with
heart,
community
right?
members, not necessarily the sweat homies.
Yeah.
If everybody's getting a team, man, Efsixx, we gotta get some logos. Efsixx can be the Cowboys. It's his year.
What?
He said the Cowboys.
So he's always gonna lose.
Ever disrespect me with the Cowboys ever again? One, I'm an Eagles fan, so you do the most disrespectful thing you can say to me. 2, no,
I can't, bro.
but I am hurt.
My dude say he's a star boy.
Hey, Efsixx, I need you to work with Menace. You guys live in the same state. I need you to work with Menace. He's always threatening to buy me a Brandon Graham Eagles jersey. Brandon Graham played for Michigan, so if you guys want to get me a Graham jersey, I'll hang it up proudly right
Will
here.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have to yell out "Fly,
Man,
Eagles, fly."
nah, hold up. Efsixx and Menace are both in Florida. Y'all don't see no fucking Eagles unless you're like in Orlando.
What?
Like,
You've never seen a bald Eagles because you don't have enough freedom.
no, yeah, bro. What do you?
Yeah.
I fucking can, bro.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
You
bro.
gotta have the freedom.
Hey, man, look up Grady Judd in Florida. That's where I'm from. We got plenty of freedom over here. But yeah, anything else specifically that you guys want to hit before we start concluding or anything like that?
Yeah, Efsixx.
Stop.
You last time we're on this episode, you're on this podcast, you were here in December of 2022. So thank you for coming back. But at that time you were an offlane main, and now you are a solo main, if I'm correct. Sorry, support main. I mean,
Bro, that confused me.
Yes, that.
That confused me. I went with the S and I went solo and so support main. Why the switch, and how was the switch treating you?
Why the switch? When I was playing on a competitive team for the piece, or there's a couple tournaments we were doing, we needed a shot caller, and apparently I was the person to do it. Apparently I'm vocal enough for it. So for me to switch there, to switch to a position where I could shot call a lot easier, support was better for me.
Jungler support,
I don't have to worry about wave management. I don't have to worry about just a lot of things that come with it being in the off lane, that 1v1. So I went to support. That way I could do shot calling. But honestly, I find support probably more fun than off lane, in my opinion, if you have a decent carry. Because you guys could pretty much control the entire map. And Fangtooth is just such an important
Windu, so I
objective.
don't get what you're saying.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I seen him miss a couple basics yesterday. But
Don't even get me started. Hashtag medkit.
The control you have on duo side for Fangtooth is just such a high impact in the game that I just feel like you're a little bit more important, especially than the mid that stays in lane and just clears minions all day. Soul, but yeah, so I just find it.
We called it Azure Core. Okay, Azure Core.
Yeah, I just Azure Core and just press Q. And
I'm an alchemical rod hater. Actually, I invented not building it. You're welcome.
I invented not building it.
How do you invent?
I can't, bro.
Oh, shit. Alchemical rod, Azure Core. I was like, all right, let's do some math here.
All right. So how are you liking the switch to support?
I think it's very fun. I like being able to throw CC or be able to save my teammates, so they can't yell at me. And if I don't have to worry about CS, that is one less thing I don't have to worry about in the game, and people can't yell at me for not having 10 CS a minute. So yeah.
All right. Now, yeah, right. Now you rank your supports for me. Like literally go through. I went rank them all. The ones that you use, at least. I guess we have to rank them all. I think we have what? 8?
No, I'll rank them fairly.
There you go. Yeah.
FaZe is number 1. She brings so much to the field, and the fact, one, she's broken because her R&B being able to pull you out while you're CC'd is one of the most broken things in the game. And if you use it correctly, you literally just look at the enemy while they just use everything on AD carry and you just pull them, they're like, oh, well, that just happened, and you just turn the fight.
Oh, you heard that? He waits till they use everything and then he pulls you. You heard that, right?
Health bar. As long as you're above 1 health, you're good. Like as a support, I just need to keep you above 1 health. You know, that's all my job is. And then I would go number 2 is the closest Richter. People will probably say no, but that's probably because they can't land their
I put
hooks.
him number 1, but okay, yeah.
The reason I say because face heals as well. Like just
Yeah, you know, I get you. I got you.
But the people that say Richter is a bad support can't hit their hooks, and I mean, it is just a skill issue. If that's you, if the shoe fits, it is what it is. But he provides so much utility in his kit. He has a silence.
We all can't be good hookers.
Yeah, I try my best. $10 a night.
Bro, you were waiting on that one. You had to have that one in your back pocket for a minute.
He's been waiting.
No.
Waiting.
You know me. That shit literally just comes to me. It happens all the time. Cut it out. Anyways,
I can't.
After that, Decker is there. We all know Decker's been the most oppressive thing in the world. I was going to say something, but I was a little bit probably not kick recommended.
There we go. Please save that.
But she just
Kick has recommendations.
DMs are open.
DMs are open. I can't.
But yeah, she does everything she needs to do well. She counters pretty much a lot of heroes. Her cage counters a lot of things, especially like leaps. If somebody especially engages with a leap or just a crunch in general, her slow beam is kind of useless not useless, but like it's just the least effective thing on her kit. And then her ball is ridiculous. You hit that thing, you literally change a team fight out of nowhere. But then obviously Rampage is going to be 4th because that rock is dangerous. People think Mariel's better than Rampage. That's a lie. And then Mariel, and then probably Sparrow somewhere in the bottom or something.
There was a support.
Yeah, Sparrow better than Narbash, to be honest with you, with that R&B, the poke.
Yeah, bro, I'll be honest with you. I had Meeks one time go Sparrow support on the enemy team. Homie stood at the bottom ledge of the duo, shooting through the wall, poking me on cooldown. I was like, bro, what the fuck is that shit? He's just down there getting free damage poke. Like, what the shit? It's actually, it's a little oppressive.
To be honest. But no, all reality, I don't really have a ranking other than the top 3, just because I just find it, they just kind of fit into like different play styles, and also fit into like what your team comp is. That's a really big thing. But if you're just going strictly based off of like what could be all around fit into most comps, I would just go with FaZe, Richter, and Decker, to be honest with you. FaZe being number 1 just because of her pull.
All right. And Reaper, what are your top 3 mids right now? I guess when you played last, maybe.
When I played the last was
1 year ago.
Gideon, Bellica, Morigesh. Kind of all interchangeable. It depends on like team comp and what your team needs, but those were definitely the best 3 at the time.
Why not Howie? Because
Howie.
I would have thought Howie would have been there. His
burst counters
damage. Like he just doesn't like do like a ton of damage, and then in like your single target. Whereas like some of the other ones are single target as well, like Morigesh, but she's a lot more forgiving because you have auto locking abilities. Like you don't really have to aim, so you can focus more on like positioning and things like that. It's a little bit harder to punish. The other thing with Howie is that Rampage, Richter were like the 2 best junglers at the time, and you got a big old hitbox. Very easy to get pulled out of position.
True, especially with his ult, you get pulled out your ult pretty easy. I love doing that. As when I was playing Richter, they just kind of like shooting ducks out of the sky. So
I'm pretty sure people don't run True Silver Bracelet on Howie, right? That's a waste, no?
It's not a waste.
I don't know if it activates until
waste,
after the ult is over. I actually don't know if you get it when you go up.
It should activate right when it goes on, because it does with Gideon, and Gideon's a long ult as well.
Well, Gideon goes on cooldown as soon as you cast. I don't know if Howitzers is the same.
I think
like you're talking about like on, because technically Howitzer's animation is going up into the sky, and when he starts shooting, his ult starts.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like I don't know if you get it after the last missile or if you get it as soon as you go
the first
into the
missile.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay.
I've been canceled with my ult with a Richter silence as soon as I pressed R. So
Yeah, then you get you do like the little soft jump and then you jump
yeah,
again. Yeah.
You're like, what
Yeah.
the hell?
That's
And then
rough.
He pulls me into the fog wall, into death, and yeah, it is what it is.
He said, and now we're here.
And now we're here.
Oh, but yeah, thank you everybody for joining, like in the
Thanks for
episode and
hosting.
everything. Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
we're about to do our little outros. Anything else you want to hit before we close here, Bearded?
I think I hit everything that I wanted to hit. Joey, you got anything?
I'm all good.
All right.
Joey,
Reaper,
chill.
anything you want to say, Efsixx? I mean, you guys gonna get your little last words anyways, but anything you wanted to hit that we wanted to have a conversation with?
Not really. I mean, I got to talk to some cool cats today, so that's pretty good.
All right. Yeah, then Windu had to be part of that too. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, I didn't count him in the first place.
Some people are just dogs in these streets. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
He's that little Taco Bell Chihuahua dog, is all he is.
Damn.
About
Is that because I'm brown?
him.
That's because I'm Hispanic?
If this is torture, chain me to the wall.
Oh, bro. You're right. Like, yo, that's a good turn. But
Yes,
I fucking Taco
you know
Bell.
that
I can't with you. No.
You guys don't know that reference?
I
Cheech
do.
Marin did that. It's a movie. I can't remember what the movie is. It was a dog movie, and he was like, he was a hood dog, whatever. Then he was inside this palace house or whatever, and the poodle was. He's like, "Is this torture? Chain me to the wall."
Bro, somebody in the chat is going to be like, I love that movie. Like,
Yeah, somebody in chat,
Like,
let me
what
know, either in YouTube. If you're on YouTube, let me know in comments, and if you're in live chat, let me know, because I know it was forever ago. I'm showing my age probably with that one too, though. But somebody knows that movie and will help me out.
all right, we're okay,
yeah,
Snow
let's do our
Dogs.
outros. Let's do our outros the same way that we came in. So Reaper, Efsixx, Joey, myself, Windu. And again, appreciate you all for being here. It was
Make sure you throw any plugs as far as anything that you got going on, where they could find you and stuff like that, by the way.
correct.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. It's fun Predcast. Thank you guys for what you guys do to the community. Anybody that wants to follow me or know any of my opinions, you can follow me anywhere on Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube. I post pretty consistently on all of those, daily YouTube and daily Twitch, for anybody interested in that.
What channel name? How is it spelled?
Just SoulReaper. It's SOULRE4P3R.
That is
Gotcha.
such
On all
a
of them.
2-year-old name gamer tag, dude.
Just tell me you're a PlayStation user, bro. You got some underscores in your name or something?
I was like,
Wait, whoa! We're not gonna bring up PlayStation usernames, bro. Like we don't gotta go through the dark times over here, medieval times and shit. You leave my numbers out of
I was
this.
the PlayStation user. I didn't have an underscore. Okay.
yeah.
You did have a number though, so you're in that group, bro.
Number. But
Yeah.
I put that number on purpose. I literally wanted that. That wasn't because somebody else had 3 other people had my name. It was because I wanted that number.
Yeah, I totally added numbers to the end of Windu just because I wanted to.
I'm telling you, I did. You did. That's different for you.
All right, go ahead, Efsixx.
Yeah, I'm Efsixx. I mostly do streaming. I do have some YouTube content. But you can find me at Twitch or Kick, whichever one you guys feel. But yeah, working on hero overviews for you guys. That's something that most of you guys said you guys wanted. Just like a quick clip of like maybe like 3 minutes, 5 minutes of just going over heroes and like what to build on and what to use. So just doing that just to help you guys out. First one comes out on Friday, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, I don't upload as much on YouTube. So if you guys want to live stream stuff, I'm there. At Efsixx, pretty much everything. If you want to follow me on Twitter, and I have spicy talks all the time. So if you guys want to join those on stream, those are fun too. So yeah,
He's a Florida man. You know he's got to have that spice in his life.
No, seriously, guys. Everybody that's here watching live on Kick, literally type in F6. Is there any underscores with the Kick one? It's just F6, right? Type in
no,
F6.
I'm not a SoulReaper.
Yeah, I'm not sorry. Type in F6 right now and go follow this guy on Kick. All right, this guy's getting close to affiliate. Help him out. Get him up there. Let's get him boosted. I know you're all there. You can help that out. So let's do that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, follow that guy right there. So let's do that. Joey.
Yeah, so I'm just over on YouTube, so I just do daily commentary videos over there. I also have a Twitter page where I just kind of like tweet out some different stuff. Like I tweet out pictures of my dogs from time to time. If you guys are dog enjoyers, I've been recently kind of tweeting out more memes with the hashtag PredMemes. So I got some spicy memes here and there going on there. But other than that, yeah, just further YouTube is where you can find me at.
Another Florida man, just throwing that out there.
Yes, another Florida man. SoulReaper, are you in Florida too? Am I the only
Joe,
one in
not.
this cast
I'm
that's not Florida? All right.
I'm from the Northeast.
Joe, you're in Florida?
He's a Tampa guy, bro.
He's in Tampa? Dude, I'm coming to Tampa in like a week, dude. I'm coming to see you. I want to see your dogs.
So yeah, for all of you that are not following Joey, this guy, don't watch his TwinBlast solo link video. Don't watch that one, okay? But every other video he makes is great content, all right? Watch everything else, all right? What I love about Joey, for those of you who don't know, I mean, everybody here probably knows Joey, so I'm probably speaking to the freaking choir right now.
Hold on, before you go, watch all of his videos, including the TwinBlast one, but you can have that one muted. But make sure you watch it. Okay, go.
Okay.
yeah, just put it on the background and walk away. Don't pay attention to anything that's going on with that one.
Give him the view, give him the support.
Yeah.
Leave a like, leave a comment, everything, 100%. Bro.
100%. You're right. My bad. But anyways, what I love about Joey's videos, right? And this is how I assume this is how he plays the game all the time, not when he just created a video. He's playing the game and he's literally explaining everything he's doing and why he's doing it, why he's picking this item, why he's going with that item, why he didn't attack the wave at this time, and why he put a ward here, why he's saving the cyan buff for this moment, whatever. He's explaining all of it to you, and you learn a lot just by watching his video. Right? You can go watch somebody else's video they just uploaded content on, and that they watched the video, and you can learn things from it. You literally have to force yourself to pay attention to that. Joey's explaining it all to you. Joey breaks it down. It's awesome. I love it. Joey, keep up the great work. So if you're not subscribed to him on YouTube already, go subscribe to this man. He definitely deserves it. He puts out great content.
He's a
I appreciate it, my friend.
Bro, it's clutch. He's a great example of somebody that just likes talking to themselves, like thinking out loud, basically, right? And that shit just comes across in the content very smoothly. And you're easily one of the biggest growing creators and predecessor for that. So shout out to you, homie. That shit's clutch. I don't even like to talk out loud, bro. I'm like, you know what? I need to keep these thoughts to myself because I'm about to say some shit I'm not going to regret. 100%.
To keep everybody else in the lower bracket elo. That's all.
All right.
You can't.
Hashtag don't queue with this guy. Like,
don't queue.
I made it easier for you guys real quick, though. Schaefer gave me the link. There's the link to Efsixx. Click on that link. Give him a follow real quick. And for myself, again, I'm like Efsixx. I don't have time for YouTube right now. I've been a lot of things going on, IRL and all that stuff. But I've been doing my streams Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, gaming. Wednesday, obviously, here we are at the Predcast. Love doing this with you guys. Love having the community interaction. And then Thursday, more gaming. But I've been pretty active. I've been getting it as best as I can active with my Twitter posts, and again with these PredMemes. Again, PredMemes, hashtag PredMemes. Keep posting those. We're going over those as well. So I'm going to be active with that. I got one I'm going to post here shortly after this episode. But you can find me on Twitter at T_B_Wolverine, only because Twitter wouldn't allow the whole bearded Wolverine on there. So good, thanks on them. But you can also find me on Threads. I'm also working on getting that built up too. That's the Bearded Wolverine. You can find me there. I'm going to start working on getting that one built as well, just in case that one does take off and go fire. But that's where you can find me. And then we're going to keep grinding, keep putting the content out there. And I think Windu and I are probably going to be playing some Predecessor tomorrow, unless he's got something else planned. But I know he's been wanting to play some TwinBlast. So
yeah, man.
Probably you catch us live, him on YouTube, me on Kick, and come hang out with us and chat with us both at the same time.
For sure. And honestly, you guys are probably going to catch me live here like in 20 minutes or some shit like that. Like I just want to play TwinBlast, to be real with you. But yeah, again, guys, I'm Windu, also known as Windu the Mace. You guys can follow me on all socials. I mainly talk shit on Twitter. I post family on Instagram. And then all of my content is basically distributed between YouTube mainly. And then all the shorts that are on YouTube also gets posted like Instagram, TikTok, etc., just to share through there. But I just wanted to say a quick little thank you to everybody that's been supporting the Predcast. Like Bearded was saying earlier, we've seen a lot of growth, a lot of love being shown towards us in the DMs and comments and everything here, probably in the past overall month or so. Like the love being thrown us is definitely escalating there, so we really do appreciate it. And just letting you guys know that we definitely take it to heart, everything that you guys say, both feedbacks and comments and compliments. And we're definitely always trying to improve the format while simultaneously trying to keep the content as consistent as possible. So we really do appreciate it. Just make sure that you guys, again, follow the Bearded Wolverine live on Kick for the live broadcast format, but still do support the aftermath on YouTube, which we're gonna have timestamps on there. We're gonna make little shorts, little snippets about key moments that we talked about and stuff. So definitely just be on the lookout for those. Definitely a lot of work is going into doing all these type of videos, so we appreciate the fact that it's being acknowledged and that you guys are showing so much love. But yeah, we will catch you guys on the next
real
one.
quick. Sorry, Windu. That's a great point. So if you are watching the live, you always watch the live, go back and check. It's great if you can watch the whole thing on YouTube just to support us and give us that growth there. But even if you're not just doing that, but to go there and just continue the comments, because there's a lot of the community will go in there. The people that aren't able to watch live, they have great comments going on, and we try to continue a conversation there as well. So you guys that watch the lives, you guys could join in that discussion as well and put your input there. And also, that is the devs that aren't able to watch the live content, they're not able to see these comments that you guys posted live. That's a good spot to put your comment there as well. That also helps the algorithm. So the more you can help us boost, the better we can do, and the better we can go from there. So any support in that situation helps. So greatly appreciate that, guys.
For sure. And as always, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.